Inspired action. You can get more done in 10 minutes of inspired action sometimes than you can in a week or even a month of just regular action. And let me explain why. Okay, the reason why is because two reasons at least. One reason is that a lot of the action that you're doing is just haphazard and you're causing as much trouble as you're solving. So they say the number one rule is that of success is that when you find yourself in a hole, to stop digging. What happens is a lot of people feel like they just have to do something, do anything, and they do things that don't ultimately help them. Like they go down one path and they decide to go down another path, and it's kind of like the hamster. It's like running like crazy on the wheel, but it's not getting anywhere. Like that famous expression, never mistake activity for progress. So what happens is, people, they become frustrated, they become depressed, they become tired. So activity without really having the clarity behind it is not that helpful. And it can be also unhelpful. It can lead to health problems, because you wear yourself out and because you have negative emotions, which are very not helpful. So I'm not saying to do nothing all day and just wait for inspiration, but a little bit in that direction. There has to be a balance between activity and passivity. What happens is, like Warren Buffett, for example, he showed his calendar on TV. There's like nothing in it. There's like one appointment in like a month or something like that. I mean, obviously he keeps somewhat busy, but he says most of his time is just spent in his office thinking and reading. Because he said, imagine, like what happens, he says, stocks are too easy to trade, so people get into all kinds of trouble. He said, imagine if you want to become wealthy, and he's the best investor in the world, or most famous one anyway. He said, imagine if you could only make 10 trades your entire life, how careful you would be on each trade, how much thinking you would do. And that's basically what he does. He just finds stocks that he loves and he keeps them forever. He does do some buying and selling, but he pretty much just sticks with what he knows and he learns. And inspired action is kind of the same thing, which is that most people are just busy, but they're not accomplishing that much because they're not clear in their mind. They haven't done enough thinking, they haven't done enough researching, they haven't done enough organizing. Like if your house is very organized and you can find whatever you want. If everything is a mess and there's papers everywhere and you don't know where everything is, then it's hard to be productive and it's hard to feel productive because you're not efficient, you're not effective. So if you really become clear, there's a lot of exercises that I do to help myself become clear, and maybe in a future podcast I'll share some of those. But when you have inspired action, everything lines up. It's kind of like, the planets lining up. You can just get so much done because in your mind, you just know this is the right thing. It's just like, and it's easy to do. What happens is, a lot of times there's resistance. Like I want you to think about resistance for a long time. People try to break through the resistance, but it's kind of like walking through molasses. How are you going to get much done? Imagine if you were running a race around a track and you were waist deep in molasses or even ankle deep. How much could you really accomplish? A lot of life is like that. Like we just try to force things. We try to force people to do things. We try to force situations. It's like running around a track in molasses. We're expending all our energy. It's like minuscule. Like because we can walk over to a chair and move it, we believe in action and we believe that we can do what we want. But a lot of actions in life, we have people resisting us. We have situations resisting us. If we become really clear on what we want, and then we let our inner voice speak to us, and when it's inspired action, a lot of the resistance is gone. And that's how you know it's inspired action, because it's just so clear of what to do, and it's so easy to what to do. Like I said, that in 10 minutes, you could get so much done. Not even so much done, but you could get, one thing done even that changes your whole life, or changes your whole week, or changes your whole, one conversation, or one action. Or two actions or five actions. Sometimes one inspired action leads to another, but don't mistake activity for progress. Try to become clear, try to become organized. Wait until the time is right. Just don't wait in passivity. Wait in terms of strategizing, thinking, resting, studying, researching. And then when the time is right, take your inspired action.